This is Daily English Talk. Real English every day.
Hey everyone, welcome back. So glad you're here. I'm your host, and this is Daily English Talk, the place where we break down English in a way that's simple, practical, and actually useful in your real life. Today, we're diving into something that I get asked about all the time. And honestly, it's one of the most important skills you can build as an English learner. We're talking about how to train your brain to think in English. Not translate, not rehearse, actually think in English, the way native speakers do. Now, quick question. Does this sound familiar? You're listening to someone speak English and you understand them perfectly, but the moment it's your turn to respond, your mind just goes blank. Or maybe you know what you want to say, but the words have to travel through your first language before they come out in English. And by the time they do, the moment has already passed. If that's you, you are in exactly the right place. And more importantly, this is completely fixable. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why this happens, what's going on in your brain, and exactly what to do every single day to fix it. Let's go. Part 1. Why thinking in English matters. Let's start with the big picture. Why does thinking in English even matter? Here's what most learners do, and maybe you do this too. A thought pops up in your head in your first language, then you mentally translate it into English, then you try to say it out loud. That process has 3 steps, and those 3 steps slow you down. When you train yourself to think directly in English, you cut it down to 1 step. The thought appears in English, you say it, done. The difference in real conversation is massive. Here's a quick example. You're at a coffee shop. If you're still translating in your head, you spend 2 or 3 seconds converting your thought into English before you can even open your mouth. But if you already think in English, the words just arrive. No delay, no stress, just natural speech. Thinking in English also connects your listening and speaking in a powerful way. You already understand English when you hear it. That's passive skill. Thinking in English builds the active side. And when both sides are working together, fluency happens naturally. Part 2. The real challenges. Let's be honest. Training your brain to think in English isn't easy at first. There are some genuine challenges, and it helps to name them. Challenge 1. The translation habit. This is the biggest one. Your brain has been thinking in your first language your whole life. That's a deeply wired habit. When you try to switch to English, your brain wants to go back to what it knows. That's not weakness, that's just how brains work. Challenge 2. Fear of getting it wrong. A lot of learners freeze up because they don't want to make mistakes. But here's the truth. The fear of making mistakes causes more mistakes than the mistakes themselves. When you're afraid, your brain locks up. When you relax and just try, things flow much better. Challenge 3. Vocabulary gaps. You're thinking in English and then nothing. The word you need just isn't there. So you fall back into your first language to find it. This is super common, and there are specific ways to fix it that we'll talk about. Challenge 4. Feeling slow and heavy. Thinking in English can feel exhausting at first, like running in sand. That's normal. It means your brain is doing new work, just like sore muscles after exercise. That discomfort means growth is happening. Knowing these 4 challenges matters because they're not signs that something is wrong with you. They're just normal parts of the process, and every one of them has a solution. Part 3. What's happening in your brain? Let's talk briefly about how your brain actually learns a language, because this changes how you practice. Your brain builds pathways. Every time you think, speak, or hear something in English, your brain reinforces those connections. The more you do it, the faster and stronger those pathways become. Your first language has had years and years to build strong pathways. English is newer, so those pathways are still developing. Think of it like a path through a forest. Your first language is a wide, paved road. You travel it without thinking. English right now might feel like a rough trail through the trees, but every time you walk that trail, it gets clearer, wider, easier. The key word here is repetition. Not long, exhausting study sessions, but short, consistent, daily contact with English. Your brain doesn't care how hard you studied one weekend. It cares about what you do every day. Part 4. The core principles. Before we get to specific strategies, here are 4 principles to guide everything you do. Principle 1. Consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes of English thinking every day will do more for you than a 2-hour session once a week. Daily contact is what builds the habit. Principle 2. Simple is your friend. Don't try to think in complex, perfect sentences. Start with basics. I'm hungry. It's raining. I need to call my friend. Simple thoughts in English are still English. They still train your brain. Principle 3. Connect English to real life. English isn't just something you study, it's something you live. The more you bring it into your actual daily moments, cooking, commuting, shopping, the faster your brain adopts it. Principle 4. Give English more space in your head. Your first language fills most of the mental space right now. To think in English, you have to gradually shift that balance. Every time you catch yourself thinking in your first language about something simple, try switching it. That shift, done dozens of times a day, adds up fast. Part 5. Daily strategies that actually work. All right, here's the part you've been waiting for. Real, practical things you can start doing today. Strategy 1. Narrate your day. As you go through your morning routine, describe what you're doing, quietly or in your head. I'm making coffee. I'm looking for my keys. The traffic is bad today. This sounds simple, but it is powerful. You're training your brain to describe your reality in English automatically. Strategy 2. Label your world. Look around wherever you are right now and mentally name everything you see in English. If you don't know the word for something, look it up right then. This builds vocabulary in context, which sticks much better than memorizing word lists. Strategy 3. Think through your decisions in English. Every day you make small choices. Start running them in English. Should I take the bus or walk? I'll walk. The weather's nice. What should I have for lunch? I'm thinking soup. These tiny mental conversations are training sessions. Keep a simple English journal. At the end of each day, write 3 to 5 sentences about what happened. Not an essay, just simple sentences. I had a meeting this morning. It went well. I was tired by the afternoon. This trains your brain to wrap up experiences in English, which is a key part of natural thinking. Strategy 6. Ask yourself questions in English and answer them. Give yourself a simple prompt. What are my plans this weekend? What am I grateful for today? What was the best part of my week? You're basically having a conversation with yourself, and your brain loves this kind of practice. Strategy 7. Switch your devices to English. Change your phone, your apps, your computer, all of it to English. You check your phone dozens or hundreds of times a day. Every notification, every menu, every button becomes a tiny English lesson. It's effortless immersion. Strategy 7. Be active with English content. Watching English shows or listening to English podcasts is great, but passive listening only goes so far. After a scene or a section, pause and summarize what you just heard in your own words. Repeat lines out loud. Engage with the material instead of just letting it wash over you. Part 6. Make it fun. Here's something I really want you to hear. This doesn't have to feel like studying. Some of the best brain training happens when you're just playing with the language. Try this. Imagine a conversation. Pick a situation, ordering food, meeting someone new, asking for directions, and play it out in your head in English. Play both roles. Be the customer and the server. Be the stranger and yourself. This kind of mental role play prepares you for real situations without any pressure. Try this. Teach something in English. Pick any topic you know well. How to cook something, how to get somewhere, how your job works. When you explain something, you naturally use simple, clear language. It's one of the best ways to build confident expression. Try this. The detail game. Pick one object around you and describe it in as much detail as possible in English. Color, size, texture, what it's used for, where it came from. You'll be surprised how quickly this gets your brain thinking in English without you even noticing.
Part 7. Mistakes to avoid. Quick but important. Here are 3 traps that slow people down. Trap 1. Waiting for perfect grammar. If you pause every thought to check your grammar, you'll never build speed. Fluency first, precision later. Get the thought out in English. You can refine it over time. Trap 2. Translating word by word. Translation is a crutch. It feels helpful, but it actually locks you into your first language. Instead of translating, try to find the closest English idea, even if it's not a perfect match. Approximate and move forward. Trap 3. Giving up after a few days. This is the most common one. People try it, it feels slow, and they stop. But your brain needs weeks of consistent practice before the new habit starts to feel natural. Expect it to feel awkward at first. That's not failure, that's the learning curve doing its job. Encouragement section. I want to take a moment before we wrap up to just say this. Learning to think in a new language is genuinely one of the hardest and most amazing things a person can do. Your brain is literally rewiring itself. That takes time and it takes patience. But here's what I know for sure. Every single person who speaks English confidently today was once exactly where you are right now. Every one of them had moments of feeling stuck, slow, or frustrated. The only difference between them and someone who never gets there, they kept going. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be fast. You just need to be consistent. 5 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day. Whatever you can do, do it, and then do it again tomorrow. Small progress done consistently will always beat big effort done occasionally. You've got this. Episode recap. Let's bring it all together. Today we covered why thinking in English, not translating, is the key to speaking fluently, the 4 common challenges every learner faces and why they're totally normal, how your brain builds new language pathways through repetition and daily use, 4 guiding principles: consistency, simplicity, real-life use, and giving English more mental space, 7 daily strategies to train your brain starting today, creative ways to make practice enjoyable, and 3 common mistakes to avoid on this journey. That's a wrap on today's episode of Daily English Talk. If this was helpful, please hit like, share it with someone who's learning English, and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. I put out content every week designed to help you build real, practical English skills, not just textbook knowledge. Keep thinking in English, even if it's just 1 sentence today, because that 1 sentence is the beginning of everything. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Daily English Talk. Think it, say it, live it.